Hi, I'm photographer Craig Rogers and welcome to another episode of Behind the Lens. For those familiar with Alvor will recognise Trigana and the sister ship Formosa, salvage fishing boats which are now used as tourist cruises. And today we're going to go behind the scenes of how I captured a remarkable photograph called Panic in Alvor. For those not familiar with Alvor, it's a small fishing village near the city of Portimao. Very popular with tourists in the summer, indeed even in the winter, and has some amazing beaches. If you ever go to the area, you have to go and check out Parinha, which is Portuguese for little beach, and it is magical with arches, rock formations. You can check out some of my photos. I've taken a lot of photos in this fantastic place. But anyway, on this day, I was sat in the house. We'd had some rain showers during the day. This is February 2024, so we'd had a few rain showers, and I was debating whether to go and take photographs or not. I knew the tide was in, so Trigana was floating, and I was thinking, yeah, maybe I can get a good angle with the sun and get some great sunset photos with Trigana. So I decided, yeah, let's go. So I parked up in this area here on the riverfront. And when I parked up, there was beautiful blue sky. But as I looked over to Lagos, which you'll see is over here, Lagos, you could clearly see it was raining. And by the time I had walked from the car to where Trigana is, the cloud, as they were the sky, as they say in Portuguese, fechado. It was closed. It was completely cloudy. And I thought, well, I'm not going to waste coming to Alvor to take some photographs. I'll take some photographs of Trigana. I had originally changed my mind to do some black and white photographs because I thought, yeah, that'd be quite moody, quite cool. I'll do that. So I set myself up in this area here, which is near the lifeboat station and the ramp for the lifeboat. And I started taking some photographs. And I was thinking, yeah, these would be quite cool. These would be all right. And I couldn't help but notice to the left of me, in this area here, was where a lot of the fishermen and the restaurant owners, they gut the fish. So as you can imagine, as they're gutting the fish, it was packed with seagulls. There were seagulls everywhere, all on the little bit of beach that was left exposed from the tide. And they were happily eating some of the discards from the fisherman that was gutting the fish. And I was just taking some snaps and happily shooting away, when suddenly the seagulls went absolutely crazy. I don't really know why, but I did see a cat, and I suspect a cat had turned up to get his fair share of the guts of the fish. And I think this cat probably caused the seagulls to go into a panic. So very quickly I changed the settings on the camera, because the camera would have been set up for landscape photos, which meant that the shutter speed would have been quite slow, so it wouldn't have been any good for capturing the birds in flight. So I very quickly changed the camera settings so I'd end up with a faster shutter speed, and I snapped away maybe 6 or 7 photographs, and the resulting photograph that came from it is this, Panic in Alvor, which I called it. For those interested in the technical side of the photograph, first and foremost, no, there's no AI. No, I haven't superimposed the birds in Photoshop. This is the photo as it was. It was shot on my trusty Nikon D850. Yeah, I'm still on an SLR. No plans to move to mirrorless at the moment because I'm totally happy with my 850. The lens coupled to the camera was a Nikon 24-70 f2.8e, and it was set at 45mm. So before the birds appeared, the camera was already set at f8, and that's because I was taking a photograph of the boat in these moody conditions. So I just wanted to create a little bit of depth between the boat and the sky. I didn't want the sky to be fully in focus, so I left it at neither a deep or a shallow depth of field, just to concentrate on the boat. And of course I focused on the boat. The ISO is 3200, okay, modern cameras, that's not a particularly high ISO, and the shutter speed was 1,000th of a second, which of course I needed to freeze the birds in motion. So the reason that these strange combination of settings was, I originally was set up to take the sort of moody boated with the background, and then when I had to really quickly change it, I was shooting in aperture priority mode, which, for those that know, you set the aperture and the camera decides the shutter speed. So what I would have done, I would have quickly changed my ISO from the base of 64 straight up to 3200, which would have given me a shutter speed of 1000, which the camera determined was the right shutter speed. Then I could freeze the bird. So just being able to quickly change those settings give me the shot that I needed. The thing I really love about this photograph is how it came out. Now, bearing in mind it is a sunset, I think when I took the photograph the sun had already dropped below the horizon. So of course it's getting darker, then you've got the extra really dark clouds and everything is reflected in the water. You have the reflection of Trigana in the water and it almost looks like a black and white photo, except for the colour of Trigana and the gulls, which is a real massive contrast. And then combined with the panic of the gulls, it just creates this fantastic atmosphere. And I think that's what a lot of other people have loved about this photograph. In print, it looks amazing on canvas. It looks great on luster paper as well, but for me, this on brushed metallic is just incredible. The actual way the brushed metallic just gives it that little extra ambience is fantastic. Now, for all the different choices of print, feel free to go and have a look at the website. The website also explains about all the different media you can have this printed on. So there we have it, behind the scenes of a fantastic photo of Trigana and the gulls. Don't forget to subscribe to me on YouTube, follow me on social media, and stay tuned for the next episode of Behind the Lens. See you then.